It's time to sit back, relax, and have a good time with Knee High to the Tree High. Your host, the Naked Truth, Marcus McNeil, and the Real Spill, Jonathan Pump, coming with their unique perspective on sports and life from elementary school together all the way to the NFL. You can't piss on them and tell them it's raining. Knee High to the Tree High starts now.
Let's go.
What's up, y'all, man? It's Knee High to the Tree High, man. We about to take y'all around the league one time. See what really happened in week 4, man. The winners and losers, the big news from this weekend. Let's don't dive straight into it, man. We know what the big news is, man. Thursday night football. That boy Tua went off on a stretcher, my boy. What you think about that,
Man, yeah. It's I'm talking about anytime you see a stretcher come out, it's never a good sign. But in particular, I look at it from the standpoint of bones heal, tears can be healed. Well, let me not say healed, they can be fixed and then healed. Those are really most of the injuries when you get carted off. The ones that are in particular where it's like a gut check when, you know, somebody punch you in the gut and the wind is taken out of you. When you see they come in and strap you down and you see the face mask is removed from the helmet and they don't even bother taking the helmet off. Like, those are the ones where you know, okay, these are way more serious than the typical injuries. These are the ones that deal with head and neck. So these are the ones where the player could have lost feeling, mobility in their lower extremities. Like, it could be a number of different things. So these are the ones when you sit back and you see it and you like, man, put things in perspective where it's like, this is a brutal game, man. And people are landing on the line, like even just something as simple as you're throwing a pass and somebody take you down to the ground and you can't really protect yourself and your head just hits the ground. Like this, I mean, you think it's routine, but it's not routine for your head just to hit the ground. So it's like, man, this stuff goes on all the time. And depending on your situation, there's plenty of times where people heads hit the ground. I'm sure they get up and shake it off, which is why we're in this whole, CTE stage where people are now seeing the trauma that has happened to the brain. Yeah, I mean, seeing that happen with Tua, man, my heart goes out to him, man. I hope everything's, and people look for a speedy recovery, meaning, so he can get back out there and play. No, I'm looking at a total healing to where the guy is straight for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? I don't need him to be able to play for the fans, and then 10 years after he get done playing, we start seeing signs of, issues with the brain, and then, that leads to the next thing, and that thing leads to the next thing. Like, that's the part I'm more concerned about. You got to have a quality of life. You can have millions of dollars, man, but at the end of the day, if you don't have health, man, you can't enjoy those millions. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough to see.
Yeah, man. I think it was really tough for me to see because I actually went through this. I don't even think a lot of people know. Like, I see so many people now, and they be like, bro, why you stop playing? Or they might just see me around when I move back to Atlanta and be like, you ain't playing no more? Because I was literally at the height of my career, and all of a sudden I wasn't playing no more. And it all happened like that, like in a blink of an eye. It was a normal play, a routine play that I do. Matter of fact, one of my favorite plays I do when I get to pull around on like a toss sweep and get to block whoever has containment as hard as I want to. So I just get to throw my whole body into them. But your boy got wheels, so I always used to be trying to get out on the edge and show you folks I can float anyway.
So that you can run a little bit.
So that running anyway, But I think the biggest thing that caught me in the Thursday night game was coming off of the previous game where we saw Tua and everybody thought that he was concussed. Everybody thought that he was dazed, and they left him in the game, and they ended up winning the game. But at what cost, though? That cost had to be paid the next week, Thursday night. So not even on top of that, we didn't even have a whole week off or a whole week to kind of get back into it. Y'all playing Thursday night football. So you jump right back into it. And when he got slung to the ground, bro, I had so many images popping in my head, bro, that was so like just aligned so much with the way he looked. From the time I took my first hit, people think that I left and my injury occurred the Oakland game. But in actuality, it was the Jets game that my injury occurred, where I hit same play. It was the exact same play call, which is a crazy thing. Same play was called, toss sweep. I'm out there on the edge, you know what I'm saying, running, just trying to, create that leverage from my back to catch that lane. And when I hit, my whole left side went out. So, you're trying to be tough and stuff like that. I ain't just going to lay out. So I kind of I felt I couldn't feel nothing on my left side. So I just dropped to a knee and just stayed there for a while and let them come to me. But eventually it kind of felt like how it feels when you ever had your leg or your arm fall asleep really bad, and then you just feel like crazy, like you can't really control it, but you know what I'm saying, just feel funny. That's how my whole left side felt. So eventually, a couple minutes after being on the knee, it kind of came back, so I was able to kind of limp off and just get to the side, but they shut me down. Shout out to my doctors for shutting me down that week, right? So I go through concussion protocol. Concussion protocol, concussion protocol, guys, is something where they send you through a series of tests, like leading up to that next week during practice, where you have to come in and sit down and take a test in front of a computer, check your memory. They, check to see if you blacked out, like what happened and everything.
So is this the same test that you got to, so I guess for the viewers, you come in, so when everything is 100%, I just want to put this in there. So when everything is 100%, you take this test. So they see your responses to certain questions. They see everything while you're 100%. So that's what they go by. And so when you go through the concussion protocol, you come back in and take that same test.
I've been out of the league several years now, right? So concussion protocol was different. Now they got the whole tent where they got the doctor who's supposed to be a third-party doctor come in. They're supposed to check you out and then let you know whether or not you're supposed to be able to come back in the game. When I was coming in, it was the same thing, but it was the team doctor who checked you out, right? And then they decided whether or not you came in the game. So to protect the players a little bit, they started bringing in doctors who didn't have any skin in the game. And when I say that, I mean they not a team doctor, so they're not
being paid by the team.
They're not getting paid by the team, so they're not going to be influenced, or they're not supposed to be influenced by whether or not you go back in the game or not. Right? So nowadays they go into the tent and then they make that decision whether or not you go into the game or not, based off of what they're seeing, whether or not you can remember certain things, if you know where you are, like how you're looking, or you're responsive, like all those things. Even if you go through that, so if they say you have a concussion, now they're going to put you through a concussion protocol, right? Now they're going to go and run the tests on you, sit you down throughout the week, make sure that your head is okay and everything. So what I'm seeing from the Tua situation is, because they didn't consider it a concussion and let him back in the game, he must not have went through that throughout that week.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't even see how you make it through concussion protocol by a Thursday game. You know what I'm saying? You just got finished playing on Sunday. Like, we got off a day, you know what I'm saying? Now, you probably don't have an off day because it's a Thursday game, so you probably have a full week and you don't have an off day, but still a couple of those days, probably that Monday and that Wednesday before the game is nothing but a walkthrough. So he's not even going through that. So let's speed up. So now, when I saw him drop to a knee, right, walking off, everybody saw him drop to a knee, kind of not be able to hold himself. I was like, damn, that kind of reminded me of like when I had to like kind of catch myself to make it back up to my feet. You know, I hope he all right. So fast forward to the game on Thursday after he took the head injury. The thing that really bothered me was when I seen him kind of season on the field where like his arm was kind of locked out and you could tell he didn't have control over some of his extremities, right? That's what happened to me the second time. So I had the first injury over the Jets game, right? Second game, we come back out. I've passed concussion protocol. I actually play against Green Bay. It's fine. Like, everything goes fine. I don't have any symptoms. I don't have anything going on, right? So it's not until the next week we play in Oakland, Thursday night football, crazy, Thursday night football game. And I go out, same play, one of my favorite plays at the beginning of the game. We trying to set the tone. And when I hit, this time, everything goes out. Everything from my neck down goes out. I can't feel my arms. I can't feel my legs. I'm literally running full speed, 40-yard dash speed, as fast as I can to hit somebody. And when we hit and collide, everything just goes out from my shoulders all the way through my toes. I'm 6'8", y'all. So falling at that momentum from 6'8", I knew I was going to hit the ground hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I hit, and then I just feel like I'm falling like a sack of bricks, you know, off the Empire State Building. I'm talking about I'm just going down, down, down as fast as I can. And I hit, and I'm thinking everything's okay because, like, I feel like I'm moving and stuff. Like, I still feel like my legs are moving, and I'm kind of squirming and stuff and, like, kind of moving around trying to get up. And it wasn't until I looked and saw my left arm kind of just laying there that I really felt fucked up, bro. Like, I was like, oh, snap. I ain't never prayed so hard in my life, bro. I'm talking about, it wasn't no other name to call but Jesus then. I'm dead serious,
at that
bro.
moment, yeah.
Boy, hey, I'm like, God, Lord, please, just please, not like this, Lord. Not like this, not like this. Please, Lord, not like this, not like this. I kept on saying that, you know what I'm saying? And probably about 5 minutes later, I kind of started feeling a little bit of a tingle sensation, a little bit like some kind of come back. I still didn't have like function over my legs and arm, but I was good enough to kind of like just be able to prop or just like lock my leg out and then kind of had them help me up on the back of a cart. And shit, they took me off the cart, and little did I know that'd be the last time I ever see a football field, you know?
Yeah.
But it was that serious, and it wasn't until, bro, I was still gonna try and play, cause we were making them M&Ms, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, I'm out there doing it for my family. I put everything on the line for my family, everybody I love doing. If you know me, if you know more, like, I love doing shit for people I love, you know what I'm saying? So I literally like was gonna do it, man. It wasn't until my grandma literally called me, God rest her soul, and she said, baby, I don't want to see you play no more. Just go and buy you some nice clothes. Put your money up, save your money, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and live your life, the rest of your life. And when she said it, bro, like she had called me on the phone. We weren't face to face or nothing. She called me on the phone. But that was the first time a peace came over me. It was like, you know what? I can hang this up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even worth it. Like, I'd
Yeah.
rather be able to walk with my kids, be able to run with my kids a little bit, you know what I'm saying, play with them outside. And to me, that's worth more than any money that, you can't put a price on that. You can't put a price on me being able to stand up, walk, you know what I'm saying, take my kids to daycare,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, go to a game and sit around and just joke and laugh. You know what I mean? I could have very easily been in a wheelchair right now. That wasn't the plan that God had for me. I thank God for it every day. The ability to walk and talk and play around my kids. But man, that shit serious, man. Like, that shit so serious when it comes to like
Yeah.
how physical the game is. So I'm wishing the best for Tua, man, but like, to be honest, it was some
Right.
bullshit. They put him back in the game. I say
Yeah.
all this
I
stuff,
mean,
some bullshit. Put him back in the game.
and that was gonna be my next, I guess, topic. It's 2-part question. So for you, do you feel like the concussion protocol and the steps they took for you to play again, was it good enough? Meaning, was it extensive enough to where if you pass the test, you know you good, or is it one of those, hey guys, we gonna I was using air quotes, but we're gonna put you through the test, but in actuality, we listening to the player, and if he want to really play, it wasn't nothing. It's nothing that we can do to stop him.
I'm gonna say it like this: with the way the concussion protocol is set up now, or with the test that I've taken, just when it's trying to figure out whether or not you've had concussions or if you have a concussion, I think that there's a lot of different nuances to whether or not you have something that could be threatening to your livelihood compared to just your memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, after you get your bell rung or after, you know what I'm saying, like, you kind of come back to, like, it's nothing to say that you're going to lose your memory, you know what I'm saying, for, like, I'm not going to
Later
lose the
on,
last 2 weeks of my life. So if you
yeah,
ask me questions like, what's your name? Like, where are you from? I'm gonna remember that shit. Like,
yeah.
that shit ain't telling me.
Especially after you come to.
Yeah, after I come to, yeah, I'm gonna remember that shit. Maybe not in the moment. I might not remember. I might be feeling like I'm out there like Batman. We joked about it before,
Yeah,
but like, yeah, you might not know if you fucked up in that moment. You know what I'm saying? But by the time everything calms back down, it seems like it's okay. You know, but in my case, it wasn't as much as a situation where my brain got rattled as much as it was the nerves and stuff that was like coming from my brain got bothered. You know what I'm saying? And that's what
yeah,
people don't realize. It's like all of your nerves and stuff start off in your brain and they kind of go through your whole body, called the nervous system, right? But
yeah,
everything starts off up there. So if you have something that's going on in between your brain and your shoulders and like in your neck and stuff, or like other parts of your nervous system, there's no way to really see that. There's no way. Like, it's like so different for each person. Like, somebody can run into like somebody and then another person can do it and they have two totally different effects. And that's where the gray area comes. So I think they're trying to do the best that they can to protect the players, but sometimes I think that it's hard to as well because based off of what they're asking and what they're trying to see, if a player wants to play, then he's going to make sure that he passed that test. He's going to make sure that, you know, he remembers what he needs to remember. And if he can't remember 3 or 4 days later, that's a lot deeper than the concussion protocol.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, we need to be sitting him down in a hospital somewhere, like checking on like his brain for real because it's scrambled
Yeah.
up, you know.
I've seen guys say, look, man, I'm just about to go down this list and put no thought into it. That way, when the concussion come around and they go back and take their test again, it don't look as bad. Because the first time they took it was bad. So you go from bad to a little bit more bad. Oh, they straight.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen, you know what I'm saying? So I just know there's ways around. I mean, like I said, I haven't played in a while. I'm not sure exactly what, every little step they take, you know what I'm saying? But I just know there's a lot of pressure in those buildings. And when it comes to being on the field, playing, I know a lot of times some things go out the window. The sound judgment, like, if you literally are not a player and you go to the doctor and you tell them your symptoms and they discuss everything with you, there's no way they would approve you to go out there and play football.
Yeah.
But because you're actually in that building and they're telling you, I mean, there's a lot riding, a lot of money involved. Sometimes you become expendable. You know what I mean? They don't want to say it, but it's more like, just like the coach, you know what I'm saying, from Miami. He was, on the TV crying and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong. Part of me believed him, you know what I mean? But I also know that the decisions being made, even though he's the head coach, are still above his pay grade. So it's like, the people in the front office, man, if they decide they want somebody to play,
they're gonna find a way.
It's kind of, it's kind of hard to not let. You know what I mean? If they're signing your check, it's kind of hard for you to go against it.
Yeah.
And simple as that. Especially if the player is already saying, everybody has a competitive edge. So I mean, of course we're going to say we're good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to protect the players from themselves in those moments. It reminds me of a boxer or a UFC fighter that's like half knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He's still trying to fight.
He's still trying to fight because he's a fighter. Like everybody that line up on the gridiron, bro, they fighters. Like you's a warrior out there.
To make it to that level, there's a little twitch in you that normal people don't have.
Yeah, you don't want to bend. You don't want to give up. You don't want to bow out. So it's just innate in us to be like, nah, I'm good. I can go. Like, cause you don't want to leave your brothers. You don't want to leave your teammates. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to feel like you letting people down. And it's so much bigger than that. The one thing that I say that I feel like can be changed is instead of having the doctor see the player on the field, on the sideline, I would rather them take them to the back. Take them away from the team, take them away from the game, take them away from the sideline, right? Let the doctor see them by themselves, not with everybody else around them, because I feel like if you put them in that atmosphere, even though you put that blue tint over them, you still walking in that blue tint.
Still pressure. You still hear the fans.
You still hear the fans. You still see the coaches peeking over at you. Like, is he going to be able to come back? Is it a yes, is it a no? Is it a yes, is it a no? That's unnecessary pressure that I feel like if you take off of that doctor and put just between that doctor and that player, it would be less likely for them to be affected by that game time atmosphere. The doctors don't need to be in the game time atmosphere. They're doctors. You know what I'm saying? I know they would love to sit there and watch the game on the sideline like everybody else watching the game on the sideline. But when it's time to actually get to work,
to be a doctor,
bro, I don't need you being no doctor in that little blue bubble. I need you to be a doctor.
I need you to be in a doctor-like environment.
Yeah, I need you to be in a
Let's go to the locker room.
I need you to be in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Not somebody fighting for a first down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to have you in a 2-minute 2-minute environment
2 minute, you know what I'm saying?
trying to
Or
figure
somebody
out.
just score a touchdown, or
Yeah,
they get block a field goal, and the crowd going crazy. Like, you hear all that.
you hear
Like, it's
all
no
that, bro.
way
You
you
right
can't.
there. I don't need you. I don't need you in that atmosphere right now. I don't
Yeah,
need
and
you.
that's the human aspect. I mean, a lot of these. I mean, think about it, man. Even though they're independent, air quotes, independent doctors, they're still humans. And most athletes, just like rappers and entertainers, no matter how high you get up in your successful in your life, like, you can be the number one doctor, but the number one doctor is a doctor. He's not an athlete, or she's not an athlete. So there's still aspirations, or like admiration that, hey, this is the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, these are the top of the top. You know what I mean? So they still gonna have that wow factor of, wow, I'm actually sitting
eighty
here.
thousand
You know what I
people.
mean? Yeah, or that was Tom Brady that just walked by. You know what I mean? Like, it's still gonna have that little, that wow factor. So in the heat of the moment, they're doctors. Yes, it might not. It's gonna sway you. You human. All that stuff weighs on you. You know what I'm saying? We're not robots, so we're not designed to just A plus B equals C. Like, that's just not. We're not
It's
designed. It's a lot of
emotions
action.
in there.
Yeah, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a good point. Like, they definitely need to put those guys in a controlled environment. Like, get them out of the stadium. I know it might take a little bit more time. He might miss a few more plays, but we talking about somebody's livelihood,
Yeah,
and that's my whole thing about the NFL. It's like, do we care, or do we just want to show we care?
yeah,
Like, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get sued, so therefore I'm going to protect my assets at all
I
costs,
would.
even if it means me spending some money to make it look like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But do they really care about the players? Like, or is it really like a genuine concern that this guy might not be able to move when he becomes 50 years old, or this guy here might commit suicide due to CTE? Like, is that really a concern? Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not people in those positions that are concerned. I'm talking about overall as the whole brand. Is it really? Do they really care that much about one individual player? Like, the brand has to live on, so they're going to protect that brand at all costs. And so that's the line that I'm like, I think it's blurred. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. I mean, me personally, I don't think they care. You know what I'm saying? You have people that do care, like, within the organization, but overall, I think no. I think it's like, we got to do this, so let's do it. That way, they can't come back and sue us. They can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's all about protection.
I guess they're trying to limit their liability,
Yeah.
or cut down the liabilities that they
Mm-hmm.
may have from a situation.
I
And
mean,
from
they just got settled, right? I mean, they just got like a lawsuit about the concussion
yeah,
from former
they
players.
got the concussion
So I
lawsuit out.
mean, so it's like, we got a lawsuit. So, you know what? This is a thing. So we're not going to turn a blind eye as if it's not a thing. Now we got to go to damage control. Let's make sure, we might lose this one a little bit, but we won't ever lose it again,
Yeah,
because we're going to show A, B, C, D. These are all the steps that we're doing to lessen concussions and protect peak players. When in actuality, it's like a doctor. If it tells you to do one thing, I mean, in any profession,
that's what I was
you can
just.
have an
That's what I
outline
was
of,
just about to say.
yeah,
Like,
you
it's
can have an
not. It's
outline
not
of,
even. It's not even just the NFL. Like,
yeah,
any profession or any industry that has them M&Ms and them bees riding on it,
yep,
they gonna find a way to protect
hmm
themselves.
because they know they basically one lawsuit away from being bankrupt.
Yeah,
I mean, all it takes is one class action lawsuit, and the whole business can get shut down. So, like I told you, you got people that can go A, B, and C. That's the bare minimum. That meets the requirements. But who's that person that's going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G? You know what I'm saying? Go the next step to make sure that not only did you complete these steps, but we're gonna go further to make sure you're totally, completely satisfied.
But they ain't
And you don't find a lot of people that do that.
They ain't even think about them folk, boy. They not
No,
doing.
it's
They
like, man,
not
we
doing
gonna take care of
They
we gonna take
become
care of
a
the bare
headache.
minimum.
They become a headache in those types of industries. They become headaches. They become
Yeah.
problems. Like, I'm not trying to deal with all that, but it's a business, man. It's a business.
It
The
is. It's the
NFL,
ultimate business, man.
NFL, big business, man. Like,
And these are the things that we just got to make sure younger players and guys understand is that the only person that's gonna look out for you is you.
yeah,
So, yes, you got to succumb to a lot of the extra stuff that they want you to do. You know what I mean? Just to make it there. But at all costs, you got to look out for yourself.
yeah. And then too, like, other people gotta look out for them too, bro. Like, your coaches need to look out for you. Your teammates need to look out for you. The doctor, like, that's a no-brainer. No, excuse the pun, you know, but like,
No pun intended.
no pun intended. But like, they supposed to be looking out for you. But like, it has to be a community effort, is what I'm saying. Because if you put it back on the player to make that decision whether or not I'm going back in the game or not, 8 out of 10 players want to go back in the game to secure their job anyway. Unless you probably like that top 5 or 10% who like kind of makes up the team dynamics, and you're a player that you know wants to compete and make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you make the 53, or you're on that roster, or you don't lose a spot, or you don't lose these plays. Like, bro, they not gonna make that decision. Ain't no way you gonna tell a person who done fought their whole life to get to this position, like, oh, bro, you hit your head. No, we gonna have to sit you out, and they just gonna be like, oh, all right. No,
I was looking to come out anyway. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get out that game
I
anyway.
was trying to get out that game anyway. Now it's like, you know, I'm trying to stay in here, you know, to either get this W or to continue to earn this position, you know, and make sure that nobody come and steal my spot, because it's only a 53-man roster. So if you're not there, the NFL is like a revolving door. They're going to find somebody to replace you. And that's always in the back of players' heads. Like, if I can't do what I need to do, then they'll find somebody to replace me. So if you have that dynamic, I don't think it's fair to a player, because they're never going to be looking at that situation with the right light. Or most players, or I'm not even going to say most players, there will be players who won't look at it in the right light, because everybody ain't got the Tom Brady money. Everybody ain't got the Aaron Rodgers. Everybody ain't already set. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the same thing goes for just the average working citizen. Like, you making ends meet. A lot of people put up with jobs that they don't want to be on simply because they need the money.
They need it, yeah.
And it's a smaller scale, but it's the same in the same breath. It's the same thing for the NFL. Like, they need the money, so they're gonna put up with injuries. They're gonna put up with concussions. They're gonna put up with maybe losing, possibly, you know, having long-term effects just because they need the money.
To take care.
So it all goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's just a bigger scale. Like I said, I just ultimately know that trusting the brand to protect you, you got to find some. You got to go elsewhere, because they're gonna do the bare minimum to pass this test or not pass it, but that's the bare minimum. After that, you got to have your support group and other players, other family, you know what I'm saying, Christ. You got to have a lot of different avenues to be able to settle you down and keep you grounded, to say, look, man, this ain't it. Just like you said, with your grandmother calling you You need all that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, that situation was tough. I think from the outside looking in, I think the Dolphins and the NFL there should be some consequences, because I mean it was obvious. I mean, whenever you have a player that literally is sleepwalking off the field, you don't even need to do a concussion protocol. Like, there's no need to even have a test.
No, you out of there.
Like, you literally, at that moment, it should be say, he's done. Give me a helmet. All right, end of the
That's the end
day.
of the game. That's it.
But that's what I'm saying. So that part should have already been done. And then on top of that, they turn around and put him back out there again the next week, and this happens. So somebody needs to be. I mean, they fired the doctor. They say they fired the doctor that did the test. So he made some errors. Like, yes, we know y'all need a scapegoat. He was a scapegoat, but ultimately, no, we know what it is. It's big money.
Yeah.
You follow the money, you find a problem.
Yeah.
And I can promise you, it wasn't the doctor.
Yeah. He out of there, but
He out of there, but you know.
There it is, man. Hey, bro. So, damn, this was around the league. We done toured it down. So, what else we got around the league, man? You know,
I mean, other than that, man. I mean, that's really the biggest news.
I was just gonna say
saying?
KC beat Tampa.
I mean, you had a couple.
Rams just lost the 49ers on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
They called
you know, you had a good game between the Bills and the Ravens. You know.
Only thing I got to say about that shit wasn't no damn comeback. They was on the down 14 points in the first half, bro. Ain't no damn big ass comeback, man. Like,
I mean, it was a solid game.
I mean, it was a solid game.
It was a solid lead.
Bro, a 14-point lead in the first half.
In the NFL, first half
ain't no solid lead, bro. A 14-point lead ain't even really everything if I got 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I think sometimes they try and tarnish my boy Lamar Jackson sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They be trying.
You know they will.
They be trying to take a little bit off. It doesn't matter, man.
The guy, as he goes, so goes the Ravens. So if they don't want to pay the man, then man, it's a million other teams that'll get Lamar.
Yeah, I give it a hey.
So
everybody,
you know what I mean? At that point, Lamar straight. I just praying that he stay healthy and safe this season. And once he get through this season, he gonna be. He already probably set for life, but this. I mean, the next one's is gonna be.
Oh,
ridiculous.
that's gonna be ridiculous. I just want to see the numbers. That's all I want. I just want to see how much they're gonna give.
You got a guy that ain't even playing right now. Got what 200? What he got? 250 million.
That, right? Oh, we ain't even that.
No, I ain't talking about Dak. I'm talking about what's his name? 200 guaranteed. Watson.
Oh yeah, Deshaun.
Yeah. He ain't even set foot on the field yet.
Set foot on the field, yeah.
So I'm trying to see what Lamar's contract will be. So yeah, I mean, like you said you talked about the Dallas. I mean, it's around the league. A lot of this, I don't know. I mean, your opinion. Let's go to the Dallas game. We got a quarterback that is not the starter, but the team is actually rallying behind him. And they're playing, and they have won the last 3. Now, you know, my opinion, Dak is the money man. We get it. Dak Prescott is the money man.
Trying to get rid of Dak since Dak left.
I'm not trying to get rid of Dak. Dak got paid. Dak got his money. The thing, the question I always have is, if you have a team that's gelling with your star player hurt, when your star player was there, it didn't look so good. But now, the team is actually playing together, and they're winning. When the star player comes back, now we know the technical part of it is, yes, he has the money, so he's going to play. We know that. But I'm just talking about hypothetically, without money involved, anything, you got a star player that comes back. What do you do? You just automatically say the guy that won you the last 3-4 games is out of there? and put him back in, even though he was, I won't say stinking it up, but the team wasn't winning when he was in there.
First of all, bro, Dak only played one game, bro. Like, don't like, bro. The man.
But this is going back to last year too, though.
Bro, the first game of the season.
But this ain't his first game, though. He done played several games, and
I'm gonna tell you like this.
the team ain't doing what they need to do.
I'm gonna tell you like this. What you said about them Texans, I think you said it on Plugged Into the Charge.
It's about the competition.
It's about the competition, bro. And then don't put the carriage in front of the horse. Cause one thing that we do know, ain't nobody got no tape on him. All right. So he playing great because as every team comes in to play Dallas, they mindset is set on who? Dak Prescott. And then
So
the
you
rest
basically
of the
saying they got maybe. So the first week they had no film on them. The second week they had one game. The third week they got 2 games.
They got about
That's
2
not
games.
a lot of film to break down.
Who they beat that weekend?
Let me get this straight. Now I don't even. I'm not even gonna mess with
Wasn't
this
it the
last.
Commanders though?
It's the Washington team.
Wasn't the Commanders? All right, so don't sit there and be trying to tell me.
I'm not, listen,
my
that's just one.
Chargers
He
can't
won.
sit there and take they W.
It was other.
With the Houston
He
Texans.
got 2 other W's though. He got 2 other W's too now.
I ain't got the stat. I don't know who they played last week. But all I'm saying is they played.
What I'm saying is
they played
I'm not
the
telling
Washington
you that.
Commanders this week.
What I'm saying is
past
that
week.
I'm just putting it out and I'm playing devil advocate. Do you just really just bench the guy as soon as the guy come back? Like, is that something that you should do normally?
Man, when Dak is back, man. Let me go see this Dallas. Hold on. You give me 1 second.
I mean, I get it, bro, but I just want to know, is that something that you just do in general? Like, if your team is gelling and everybody is playing well, do you just insert somebody else just because they're quote unquote the star?
You know who they beat the week before?
Who they beat the week before?
The Giants.
All right, then the week before that.
Let me go.
Now listen, you might call them the Giants and you might call them the Commanders, but end of the day, they are NFC East opponents. They're division opponents.
I will give them. They beat the the Buccaneers. No, they lost to the Buccaneers. They beat the Bengals.
So Bengals, Giants, and
the Cowboys.
Washington. So,
Commanders.
So 2 of the 3 games that they won, one of them was the defending, not the defending, but the defending AFC champions. The other 2 were division opponents. So I mean,
bro, the Bengals just got their first win that weekend, didn't they?
Right, they still the defending AFC champions.
All I'm saying is, people, you be saying all this about the problem with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is not the problem, bro.
So what I'm saying is that I'm not saying he's the problem. I'm just telling you that sometimes teams react differently to different situations, different scenarios.
Jerry Jones ain't giving up $200 million and putting in.
I told you I'm removing the technicalities, man. We know he has the money, so he's going to play. I'm talking about from a hypothetical situation where
if Nick Saban
money is
was
not
running the
involved.
team.
Yeah.
Who
you think Nick Saban be like, oh yeah, automatically we just gonna put him right back in?
No,
you know what? We might just let that one ride for a little while.
That's why Nick Saban in college, my boy, because he don't see that.
Hey, all them boys, they come to the pros and they say, you know what, this ain't it. Let me go back down to college.
Cooper Rush is who you going with. I'll take it, man. All right, man.
I'm not saying that's my guy, man. I'm just telling you. I just asked you a hypothetical situation, bro. That's it.
All right. Well, I like that hypothetical, bro. But give me Dak back. You know what I'm saying?
Dak, you need. You hey, what you saying? You win, lose, or draw with Dak.
With Dak, bro. I'm sorry, man.
I feel you.
That's
Listen,
all I got to do.
I'm not negating that.
Who you going with?
I mean, I'm just not in a hurry to insert that back in. to be honest, if Dak comes back and this guy been winning, I'm still gonna ride with him until
he lose.
Until there's some turmoil.
Wow, my boy. Hey, well, y'all heard it from the JPGM. You know what I'm saying? The JPGM.
I ride the hot way.
Hey, if JPGM and your team, you better be winning, or your job is up there. My boy. If
I'm GM and the best player is gonna play.
My boy just Drew Bledsoe, Dak Prescott. He just put Tom Brady in. He's saying,
hey, I'm telling you.
He's saying Cooper Rush the next Tom Brady. They need to go.
I'm not saying anything about Cooper Rush being there.
Even though Dak bought them everything they did to the Cowboy, put him to the side,
which is nothing.
And
let Tom Brady ain't got not Super Bowl, not NFC champion. So he got a lot of money, but really, what has he done? Ultimately, nothing.
Hey, I heard it all before. How about that?
If you talk about wins, you talking about championships. He hadn't done it. So I mean, I get it. You got to pay him market value, but at the end of the day, it ain't like it's Tom Brady I'm benching that has won me 6 Super Bowl championships. We talking about a person who hasn't technically, if you look on paper and look at championships and playoff wins and all, he hadn't done it. So it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been the person that's going to say.
I figure because you and Dak are the same hue that you would at least ride with your boy a little bit.
I'd be riding with him?
At least a little bit.
Nah, bro. I don't have a problem with that. It's not nothing against that. I'm just telling you that I'm going to ride the hot hand. If he's hot and my team is winning, I'm not going to change that up.
You're going to go with who winning.
I'm not gonna change it up. Look, I might have a different starting lineup every week, depending on who winning and who losing.
God damn, Andy Reid, you gonna spread it around, ain't you? You gonna
for everybody would love playing for me. You know why? Because they know they got a chance to play.
You go out there and ball, you can play, huh?
You gonna have a chance. Trust me.
I'll take that, bro.
Ain't nobody safe around him.
Ain't nobody clearly.
Ain't nobody safe. I mean, I'm not saying that you ain't gonna be on my team.
You gave $200 million.
I'm just telling you that for this week,
be the backup.
Cause you could be the backup, but guess what? You can be the backup and end up playing more than the starter. If that starter come out there that week and he start tricking off,
get what?
Come here, son. Come here, son. Let me talk to you.
You gonna put your arm on the shoulder and everything, cuz.
I'm like, bro, keep your head in the game because the same way I just yanked you out, I yank him out too.
Hey, I yank him out too. All right. Now you got people wishing ill intent on other people now.
Hey,
damn,
listen, man, you gotta create a culture of competition, man. If the guy behind them don't feel like he really got a chance to play, competition is done, man. It's done.
Yeah, he's not gonna push.
That's the only way you ain't gonna push him. He's just gonna really. I mean, he gonna do the bare minimum, the status quo, to get paid. Everybody love playing for me because it'll be fair. It won't be like it'll be fair. It won't just be favoritism or just cause. Like, it's gonna be fair. It's gonna be literally be every man is getting treated the same.
Everybody got, bring their A game.
You got to play, man. I mean, we in the business to win. If you ain't winning, then what are we doing?
Well, it is, man. We just rounding
it up. It is, man. Around the league.
Around the league, man. We'll holler at y'all, man.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Y'all just finished watching the Knee High to the Tree High podcast. We hope you all enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Tell us your thoughts. We out.